Welcome everyone to Things Around 8. In this video we will talk about why Vladimir Putin now says that he does not authorize Volodymyr Zelensky as president of Ukraine, classifying him as an illegitimate president. This Tuesday, May 28, Vladimir Putin, in a statement to Russian state TV, stated that Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is no longer the legitimate president of Ukraine, claiming that his presidential term officially ended on May 20. It was the second time in recent weeks that Putin accused Zelensky of illegitimately dissuading power in Ukraine, the first being during a report for the Spanish network EFE, in which he said he did not know exactly who he negotiates with in Ukraine, since, for him, Zelensky is no longer the president. But why does Putin say this, and more importantly, is he right or wrong in saying this? According to the modern electoral calendar, the country should have held presidential elections between March and April this year, with a winner expected to begin a new 5-year term on May 20. However, presidential elections were not held as planned. This then means that Putin is right in claiming that Zelensky is an illegitimate president. According to the Ukrainian constitution, in the event of the imposition of martial law, national elections must be suspended, meaning that presidential and parliamentary elections cannot be held while martial law is in effect. With Ukraine living under martial law since the beginning of the Russian invasion in February 2022. According to the Ukrainian constitution, martial law is in force for a maximum of 90 days, but can be renewed successively a few times, which is what has been done since the beginning of the invasion, with the last renewal taking place on May 10. Therefore, as martial law is in force, national elections, such as presidential elections, cannot be held. And therefore, as there are no elections, Zelensky, who won the last election in 2019, remains in office. This is what Ukrainian law says. However, Vladimir Putin interprets the law differently, saying that Zelensky should step down as president and transfer it to the Speaker of the Verkhovna Rada. The Verkhovna Rada is the Ukrainian parliament made up of 450 deputies, of which 235, the majority, make up a government base. The parliament is presided over by Ruslan Stefanchuk, a great ally of Zelensky, seen as the creator of his electoral campaign in 2019, and according to Putin's interpretation, it is he who should carry out the role of president of Ukraine until new elections are held. The problem, in this case for Putin, is that this is not provided for in any Ukrainian law. In other words, Putin's statement that Zelensky is an illegitimate president, and that the position should be in the hands of the Speaker of Parliament is nothing more than a personal interpretation of Ukrainian laws, made by Vladimir Putin. These laws, which are important to highlight, clearly state that during the period of martial law, national elections cannot be held in Ukraine. Laws, which are also important to highlight, were written long before the Russian invasion, and long before Zelensky assumed the presidency in 2019. Therefore, Putin is wrong to claim that Zelensky is an illegitimate president. But does this then mean that if the Russian invasion lasts 10 years, Zelensky will remain in power for 10 years? There is no clear answer to this, since as I have demonstrated here, Ukrainian law does not provide for such a situation. If the war continues for a long time, what will probably happen will be a legal interpretation of the Ukrainian constitution, aiming to determine whether Zelensky should remain as president, or if the position should be transferred to parliament, or even if elections should be held. Nationals, even with martial law in force. But this interpretation of the Ukrainian constitution should be made by judges and decided by Ukrainian parliamentarians, and not by the leader of the country that is attacking and invading Ukraine. Therefore, Putin's statements, which claim that Zelensky is an illegitimate president, only serve to create noise. They only serve to create another obstacle to the resolution of a conflict that, with each passing day, turns into a sad and terrible never-ending war. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any news.